One. We on?
Welcome to the Healthy Brotherhood experience. I am your host, Lucier Boy, out of the DET, the co-host, and I got my co-host also with me, JT Hell, out of the ATL. What's up, though?
What up, though, Shawty? And Brother Lusar, good to see you on here. Got a special guest tonight out from is it the East Coast or West Coast? I always get confused.
West Coast.
I'm from the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast now.
On the West Coast. I don't know why I confuse that all the time. Brother Mensah Bey out of San Diego, regional captain out there in California, former vice captain for the San Diego chapter. Brother Mensah Bey, welcome to our podcast, man. Good to have you on here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man. Ready to be part of this energy.
Is this the first time you've been on the podcast? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. It's always cool to get a new face on here. Lucier and I enjoy that, having different brothers on here and everything. So like I said, Mensah's the regional captain now. So Mensah, give us a little running background on you and your background with Black Men Run and your current situation with Black Men.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, running's it's been a part of my family from an early age. Like when I was in elementary school, we were running like AAU. Even at school, like I was always competitive with my classmates, and in elementary, like we went back and forth. So I always loved running. At that stage, I started competing in school at sixth grade. It was the only year actually I competed in school. Was up until sixth grade. I think in my head, I think I just like performed well enough that I didn't feel like I needed to keep running. And I was really important. I mean, grades were really important for me back then. So I was just, my grades slipped for the first time. I played 3 sports that year. So I was like, it must have been sports. So I just kept basketball and then dropped soccer and track. And I really didn't pick it back up again until adulthood, like my 20s. So people seem to be surprised whenever they see me like running. It's like, oh man, you must be running. You must have ran in school or ran here. And I was like, I didn't compete for like most of my life. I really just picked it up, and I guess I just was always like built for it, I guess. So I say around like 2020, when everybody was inside, one of my friends had posted in our group chat. I was like, oh man, he made a joke about one of our other friends because he was like, yo, how you start a challenge on the Nike Run Club app and you losing at it. And so I was like, oh, y'all got an app, y'all racing on the app, what's that about? And he sent it to me. I checked the challenge out, and then that's really when I picked up running from that point up until now. This was when I was back home in Virginia, and so I was running there, just kind of do that challenge. Realized I had a knee issue that I never really knew where it came from. So it slowed me down. I ran like 5 miles, and then I just couldn't like wake up and move the next day. So I had to figure out what was going on with my knee, which was really just me just like, I don't know, just resting. But it would always come back. And I didn't realize it probably was just shoes. I was running just cheap Adidas and random shoes that I picked up. I didn't know any better. And then when I moved out to San Diego, my wife had told me about Black Men Run. And so I followed the page. And I was just kind of watching their page until I found a run that they were doing that was near me. I picked up then that they had like jumped around at the location that they were running at. So then they ran from Balboa Park, which I was like, I live right down the street from that. I can like walk to that. I didn't have a car then. So I was like, well, I can walk down or run down and meet up with them. So that was my first run. And I've just been active with the group ever since. I think just from that, like that diligence early on is what kind of built up some of my kind of role in the group. And so like after a couple years, the captain Asari like started putting out the feelers like, hey, what you think about being a vice captain? What you think about? And I was like, I don't know, what it is. Tell me what it do. And so after him saying it a couple times and us talking a little bit more, I think I got a message from Jeff, and I was like, oh, I guess something went through, so I guess it's gonna be happening. And so I was vice captain for I think about a year, I guess. Before Jeff had approached me at the last West Regional actually. He had kind of put it out. I was like, hey man, you ever thought of that West Regional role? And I was really taken aback because I was like, what have you noticed out of me? Like I just been posting the runs every Saturday for our group. That's about all I've been doing, I thought. So we had another conversation just to talk a little bit deeper on it, and then I opted to take on the role. I appreciated what he envisioned and saw me being able to bring to the organization. So I hopped in the role and just kind of been taking it kind of step by step ever since.
That's all right. For those who don't know, um, Mensah was one of the San Diego vice captains. Vice captains are basically co-captains, which is what we used to call them. And then we decided to change that up, started calling them vice captains. Now he's a regional captain. For the people that don't know Mensah, what does that actually mean, being regional captain, and what territory does that cover?
Yeah. So the regional captains, our roles are pretty much to like corral the local chapters or the different chapters within our region. So for the West, that's 9 chapters, including I try to always do this from like north to south, but Seattle, Denver, Sacramento Bay Area, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, Dallas, and Houston. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, our role is really just to like keep up with what's happening in those chapters, help engagement at the more regional level, just to kind of build our relationships there, help disseminate information from SLT and senior leadership down to those chapters, and also to report back to SLT like some of the concerns. So it gives them another layer of just another layer of some of a leader to respond to, maybe something that's a little more reachable. It's like, oh, I know I can reach this brother maybe a lot easier than I can reach Edward Walton about an issue, or I think a lot of chapters or brothers have deeper relationships with Edward and the SLT from being captains for a longer time.
Mhm.
um, and so I think with kind of the role shifting within BMR, I think having those positions that are like, hey, here goes a somebody who can get you that information or help issue it along. So it's just a lot of communication back and forth and making sure that brothers feel kind of heard at their local levels.
Has that been any challenges for you in this new role?
For sure. I mean, just trying to like try. I think mostly just trying to like communicate as frequently as possible and reach all the different chapters. I think it was real easy for chapters just to operate as themselves.
Right.
I think they give us, BMR gives us that kind of leniency as long as we follow the basic rules to just like do your thing, run your group. But it's when the larger picture comes into play, I think trying to get that to like um, get brothers like corralled around that, like, hey, we're trying to do this big
Mhm.
thing and make them really feel it. Um, this has been some of the challenge, but I mean, the brothers, some chapters and brothers are like real good at responding and having I say having good ideas and
Mhm.
real serious, good questions that they help, kind of help their communication, help the leadership build, I believe. So, so yeah, I think the biggest thing is we always, in most spaces, is trying to figure out the best way to communicate, though, and
Yeah.
how people communicate, and meeting those levels too.
Right. So speaking of regional,
Yes,
Lou
sir.
Sire, check it out. So I just came from Columbia, South Carolina. I'm in Atlanta. That's only 3 hours from Atlanta. We had our third regional meetup for 2025,
Yeah,
which included the Governor's Cup
Nice.
marathon weekend, half marathon, and 5K. The
All right.
Columbia chapter, Captain Michael Silver, those guys, they had an awesome weekend
yeah.
planned for everybody, man. And Black Men Run had the largest group present
Hmm.
at the race since 1973, I was told.
Wow.
Basically ever. I think that's when it started. So we had the
Hmm.
largest group there. I want to say it was at least 85 deep,
Yeah.
Wow.
maybe a few more. Some great activities. So coming up next is our fourth regional Black Men Run meetup for 2025, which is the San Diego Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Marathon weekend. Um, I've done a few rock and rolls. I've never done San Diego. What can you tell us about the San Diego Rock and Roll?
Well, it was actually my first half marathon, so I have like a love for it just for itself. And I just remember, man, like the runner's high I hit like halfway through, just made me feel like it's one of the best runs that you can experience. I mean, San Diego is, as you know, like it's just a beautiful city. You
Yes, it
get
is.
hills, and you get flat, and but you get so much just like good energy from that race. And so like. And one of the favorite parts of that race is like around mile 4 or 5. They have what they call it the beer mile. That's when like the neighborhood that you're running through, like people just pop out, set up their table. They have whiskey, alcohol, beer, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you want it, you can grab it. My first time running it, I took one right at the end of it. I was like, let me go. This guy has some whiskey. I was like, let me grab it. It wasn't a smart decision. I don't think. I was immediately like, where's the water at? But
Better at the end than the beginning. Trust me. Been there, done that. You don't want to
well,
do
it was the end of that beer mile, but I still had like 8 miles to go. So it was
Yeah,
like
you're
I
right.
was like mile 5. So I was like, I don't know if that was a smart idea. Yeah, I mean, I was a baby in the racing world at that time. But yeah, they just celebrated their like 25th year, I think 2 years ago. And so the rock and roll started in San Diego, so it's always just like way more energy. So it's the birthplace of the rock and roll series.
I didn't know that. Did you
Yeah,
know that, Lucille?
That's the birthplace of the rock and roll series. Oh wow,
yeah,
I didn't
interesting.
know.
yes, sir. Um,
Amazing.
and so yeah, like you run, you kind of run all through like the neighborhoods and through like North Park and
I used to
kind
live
of.
in North Park on Pershing Street, man.
Oh yeah, we run down Pershing. That's like mile
Oh
10,
wow.
mile 10. Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, that's we run around there. We make our way back down Mile 10, right around Pershing, right through about past Balboa Park. And then we make our way downtown. Um, and then yeah, we finish right there in like the heart of downtown, right in the Gaslamp district. So it's a real
In
easy,
that
like
area.
accessible race. Like the airport is a few miles from downtown, so you can easily catch an Uber, have a hotel, and like do everything for that weekend in downtown. And then there's always a festival at the end. So the race is on Sunday, June 1st. And there's always a festival right at the end. They take up the whole like waterfront park. So you just get a great view, great relaxing experience right at the end. One year I was a VIP, so we got to hang out inside and had a blast. Man, they fed us, had a little recovery station, and but yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of the race. They have like a remix challenge where you can do the 5K and the half marathon. So the 5K is on Saturday, and then the half marathon and the full marathon is on Sunday. So you can get a double medal if you do both of those. We have a few brothers from our chapter that I know that are doing the remix challenge, so they'll be doing both races. I haven't opted to ever do that because I want to perform for the half, so I don't want to burn my legs out trying to race the day before. Because if I'm gonna do the 5K, I'm gonna like try to win and place, and I'd rather just do a regular shakeout and just chill out.
Somebody's got that competitive spirit. We got an alpha
Yeah.
runner here.
I started getting first place in my age group pretty early in my running career out here, so I'm trying to stay in that space. I like those extra medals and extra perks.
Nah, impressive.
Yeah.
Man, I
Lucille, you
did.
plan on going out there?
Man, I wish I could. Man, I did my fastest half marathon after doing the 5K. I did the 5K, and then the next morning I did the half marathon, man. And I did, man, that was my favorite half I ever did. That was, of course, the Free Press Marathon.
Oh, all right, yeah.
But yeah, that I did. What race was that y'all did? Y'all did a race I saw last week. What race was that y'all did in San Diego?
We did the Ragnar relay.
Not Ragnar. It was one of the other cities around. It was a 10K to 5K. And I did that back in the 90s. I was like, man, that race is old. I did that race back when I was in the military,
Was
man.
it the
I saw y'all posted online.
hot chocolate or the kook run? I'm trying to think.
It's the name of like Mission or something. I forget the name of it, but I saw the other guy that's with you guys, he posted. I said, "Oh man, I remember that race." Because when I was in the Navy, man, all I did was 10Ks and 5Ks back in the day. I ain't know what a marathon was back in them days.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I just got my first one in this year, so
Oh,
Woo.
congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a rough one.
Welcome to the marathon community.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We had two brothers, myself and another brother did our first marathons this year. He did the LA and I did the Carlsbad Marathon.
Carlsbad. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, all
Carlsbad.
right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's been around
Oh,
for
they did
decades.
the Carlsbad 5000.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Carlsbad 5000, man. I did that in 1992 or
Hmm.
91.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get bit by that bug, man. People
Yeah.
say, that's it, I'm not gonna do another one. Next thing you know, they signed up for another marathon.
Yeah. I stopped talking negative like that. I just say I'm gonna do what my body want to do when it's time to do it.
There you go.
So if you
There
see
you
me
go.
running the ultra sometime, just know that my body was ready to do it.
There you go. Are you doing the marathon for Rock and Roll, San Diego Rock and Roll, or you doing the half?
I'm saving it for next year. I wanna enjoy my brothers when they in town. So I'm gonna run the
Oh,
half and keep it easy, and then be there to welcome everybody in at the end of the race.
so I know typically Rock and Roll is usually big in terms of numbers, in terms of running.
Hmm.
You have an idea of what the San Diego, how many they usually have in that particular for the half and the marathon?
I want to say they get up to the 20,000s.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous number. Like it was hard. I think first time I looked it up, it was hard for me to even believe. So and it sells out too apparently. So
Mhm.
um, so yeah, it's a well attended race. Like it's hard for people not to want to be a part of it. That was a brother that came out to watch me do the race last year, and he signed up for the 5K like right after that. He don't be out here running, but he been training since then. So it's a bug that he gets you just being out there cheering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
one to
energy,
me.
man.
Yeah, big when it's big numbers like that, you really do feed off the end. It feels more like a race versus those with smaller numbers. No shade to the
Yeah.
smaller races, but for me,
Right,
smaller races just feel like a big group run.
Hmm.
The
right.
bigger races, it feels more like a race
Yeah.
event. It's a distinct difference.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Definitely a
electrifying,
difference.
man,
It
when you got
is.
all them
It is.
people, man.
Yes, it is. Mister, did you come to Detroit?
No.
You didn't do the national
Yeah, I think I was
Detroit.
just started running with BMR when I first started
Okay.
that. So I haven't been out to any nationals. The only like big like at the West Regional last year was the first like um, kind of larger level event that I've been to that
Okay.
BMR hosted. Because like I think the 10 year I wanted to go to that, but I had just gotten married that year, and then
Hmm.
we went on our honeymoon right after that, and then the race would have been the weekend that we was
Yeah.
getting back from our honeymoon, and I
Yeah.
came back with COVID. So
Oh, well, yeah. Thank you for not coming.
yeah, same job. Because I
Enough
could have
people
just
caught COVID
yeah.
down here.
We could
So,
have just we were in Cancun, so we could have just flew right into Atlanta and been there for the
hmm
weekend. But yeah, we were a little
that's
spent.
perfect. And so, Rock and Roll San Diego, it's also a BMR regional
Yeah.
meetup. You have an idea how many BMR brothers are coming?
We haven't gotten a full count. I'm still like getting brothers to kind of throw some numbers in. In my head, I got a feeling of about 50. I know
Okay.
like LA comes down every year, and knowing this a bigger event, I know a lot more of those brothers are coming down because they're real
Mhm.
close. We always make it a fun event with just BMR LA and us, and we always kind of group up with all the other chapters here in or other run groups here in San Diego. So I'm looking for a good chunk of it to be BMR LA and BMR San Diego.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been, brothers from Seattle. They said they're coming. I got a list from Sacramento. I know Denver's coming in with some numbers. So I'm just waiting to get some of those numbers in to really get a real count right now.
Yeah. Is registration still open or has it?
Yeah, registration for the race is still open. I think the last like price jump just happened, but we do have a code. Nasara, our captain here in San Diego, is an ambassador with Rock and Roll, so he's got a code. It's $15 off any race distance. So we've been putting
Nice.
that out on the flyer. We've been putting out with all the info on it. So that's the easy way to help, kind of reduce some of the costs, especially if you're signing in late.
Mhm. So for
Nice.
brothers coming from other areas outside of the West Coast,
Yeah.
what can you tell them to kind of expect for the route for San Diego Rock and Roll, or any surprises, attractions that they may see along the way, and kind of landmarks?
Well, you get to run like when you run into like North Park, you get a beautiful view of just like all the different like neighborhood signs. You get like North Park sign
Mhm.
running through there, catching all that area. You go and run into some hills. I think out here, most of us feel like it's not the most hilly of the races, but if you do the race, you might be like, ah, this got some hills. You said there wasn't that many hills, so you get prepared for hills.
They
Uh,
don't run down Texas Street, do they?
nah, nah,
Is that a
that
bad
one's
one?
serious. Yeah, I train on that one sometimes, but yeah, I wouldn't put that in a race. That's a
Ooh-wee.
tough one. I think Pershing is the toughest hill, and that's we go down that hill, but you got to go up a little bit to get to it.
Okay.
But a good portion of it is a portion of the race is flat. Like midway through the race, like mile 3 through
Mhm.
8, 9, but you get, kind of beautiful views of North Park. You always get like a nice vista. And then like coming into downtown, you just get the Bay Area. Or yeah, coming in, getting the waterfront area and all that coming into the finish. Um, and then yeah, that run down Pershing, you get like it's a golf course on your
Right.
left. And they just redid that whole street. Actually, they made it real like user friendly for bikers and walkers. So all that just got redone. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
it's beautiful. Like I've run it a couple times. It's really beautiful. Makes it real safe. Running it just on training and all that.
Mhm.
So you get to check all that out. And then yeah, when you make your way into downtown, you just get those downtown views. And at the finish line, like the finish, like the whole straight, just people all the way down the sides, and they all cheering you on, and you just come in through the finish line. So
Nice, nice.
That
yeah,
sounds exciting. Don't be
definitely
surprised if you see me. I haven't registered yet, but
it is.
maybe I didn't really plan for this one.
Yeah,
Still question mark, question mark.
yeah. But we
Maybe.
know you've been out here before, so
Yeah, yeah. I've been out there. It's been some years since I've been out in San Diego.
yeah.
Beautiful city. I loved it, man. I was like,
Yeah, I
wow,
think you
I
was
think I could live here.
yeah, I think I saw you were looking at doing Long Beach too, Long Beach Marathon later this year.
Well, if I do it, it will be next year.
Next year? Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
for next year.
yeah. I
Yeah, we
got to
had
get my
we had
mind
a
right as far as preparing for a marathon.
yeah, we had a brother do it. His first marathon was the Long Beach Marathon. He did it last year. He just moved up that way too. So yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, so that one I saw it on a TV show, I think Insecure, and
Mm.
I was like, oh, I wonder is that a real race? And I looked it up,
Oh,
it's a real race.
mm-hmm.
And then I have cousins in that area too that I have
Oh yeah.
never met. So it'd be kind of an opportunity to meet up with some cousins too. So we'll see.
Yeah, you
My
gotta ask
mind
them
is
how much they like.
maybe 70 something percent. I'm gonna do one. That would be,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not 100%. Maybe
Uh-huh.
once I get to 90 something percent, I'll go ahead and register, start training for
Yeah,
something.
I hear that.
Yeah. So do you guys have a itinerary or activities planned for the brothers, for the
Yeah.
Piedmont brothers for this weekend?
Yeah, so for like all the courageous brothers that want to come early and kind of enjoy San Diego, if they're there as early as Thursday, we do a Thursday night run, and so we're inviting brothers that if they're coming that early, like come out for the Thursday night run. We do it over at Liberty Station, so it's a nice flat route. We usually run 6 miles, but with the race coming, we might do a little bit less. Um,
Mhm.
but we meet out there, and it's always nice, usually well attended. So it'd be nice to have brothers out for that if they want to be out there at the 6 o'clock. We do six. We call it 6 at 6. Usually do 6 miles there. Um, and then Friday is the official like weekend where things are starting. And so I've been working with one of our brothers out here, Kenton Hunley. He has an after school program. It's called Dream School for the Arts. And so he was opening up his building or his space to invite brothers to come to that space just to kind of because it'll be empty at the time. So like between like three to 5 o'clock, gonna have that be like our welcome event. A real like creative experience. He's a creative writer. Me being an artist, we've been collaborating on ideas, to kind of do something that do some like early like brotherhood building. And doing it in a creative way, just kind of give it an early welcome for brothers to coming in town
Nice.
before we have our kickoff social that evening in downtown San Diego. So have a nice, kind of dinner and hang out. Um, that way, brothers can just kind of hang out and do their thing. And then Saturday is when we start moving again. We're gonna have a shakeout run Saturday downtown at the waterfront. Um, and then we're gonna go to the expo right after that. And even it's gonna be a big unity run that Saturday morning, the shakeout. We partner with we collaborate with BGR. We got a group out here called Long Run Sunday. Another group, Santa Mujeres Run Club. We all like run these races together. So we're gonna have a big group run or unity run that morning shakeout. Just kind of get the jitters out. We're hoping to have our Saucony rep come out to that event. I just got word today that she had just had a car accident, so she's trying to determine if she's going to be able to make it or not. But if she does, she'll be out there to have some shoes out there for people to try out, and then yeah, we'll go to the expo right after. The expo is at San Diego Convention Center, so it's right there at the waterfront. So we're gonna go to the expo together. Anybody needs to pick up their bibs and all that, we'll go handle all of that, and then there'll be some room to breathe after that. And there's a big festival happening that same weekend called the Kumba Festival. So I'm hoping that we can get some brothers to come out to that. It's out in like southeastern San Diego. That's where a lot of the Black community lives and thrives, and it's in the now deemed San Diego Black Arts and Culture District. And actually, the mural that I did this past year is in that same district. And so that festival being in that area, I think it'd be a good opportunity for brothers to kind of see what it looks like when we do get together in San Diego, because our community out here is so sparse and like spread out. I won't say sparse, but it's so spread out. So it'd be nice to capture that and see what it looks like when we all get together. So if there's time and room for that, we maybe just be a thing to do type of thing for brothers that want to go out there. And then Saturday night, we're going to come back to downtown Little Italy area, do a dinner before, excuse me, do a dinner before the race at Ballast Point, just as an easy kind of laid back kickback spot. We like it because you can just go in and kind of order right there from the QR code, and kind of food come as you go. So you can just kind of order your things as you want them, or you just hang out with everybody, just have a good time. And then Sunday we're gonna race, and so the race starts at 6:15. So we'll get together, a few minutes before that, maybe like 5:45, try and do a group photo before the race, and then set everybody off. And then after the race, the race is on Sunday, so we're expecting brothers to kind of leave town that day, possibly. So if they are hanging around that day, there'll be brothers, but there's no real nothing in stone to do on Sunday. We'll just kind of leave that open to guys as they're like planning their leave from San Diego.
Wow, man, Lucire, I think we might need to get on out there, man.
Man, I'm about to get me an Uber. I'm coming.
Starting now.
I better start now. I wonder how much an Uber costs to get out there from here.
Look, I don't know. You may want to sign up to drive Uber and just drive.
Yeah.
Pick you up on the way out there. Yeah.
I'm gonna pick you up, JT.
Pick me up, man. We hit that road, man. But it sounds like it's gonna be a pretty fun. Y'all got a pretty good weekend plan.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to even I think of the race as its own. The race is an event itself. It's like it's almost hard not to party during that race. It just feels like a party. Like even when I'm running it, it still feels like a good time, even though I might be running for speed, because there's a lot of people that run just to have a good time. And it's like, oh no, some people that stop, they just come out to cheer now because it's just a good time.
Right.
We're gonna have probably gonna have a couple cheer station spots too, where people can get together, so they then kind of know where to start looking for people as well. Maybe up in the North Park area, and they probably need a finish line.
Man, that race starts early. It starts at 6 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we trying to avoid the heat. We're trying to get
okay.
Because it starts off cool. The thing about June out here, it's pretty cloudy in the mornings, so the sun doesn't come out until midday. So by that point, most of the people should be done their race. So yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And coming from Atlanta, we're 3 hours ahead, so I'd be wide awake,
ready
getting up for that race. Starting at 6:15, get up maybe about 4
at 2.
That's like
you gotta get up at 3.
I'd be wide awake.
They send everybody out in waves. So the first wave is 6:15, and they've had. I mean, those corral numbers are huge for this race, and it's probably up to 20-something corrals, even maybe more.
Wow.
So my first year I was in the 4th corral, and ever since then I've been in the 2nd corral. They'll still send off the elite runners and legacy runners all first, and then that second one is the first open heat. But I mean, I've like I feel like I've been like finished like half the race before some people started. Sometimes like it
Probably because
was
you're talking about
way
20,000 runners. So
yeah.
um,
Man.
with starting in waves, you
Hmm.
definitely elite runners will be finished before some even start,
Oh
and probably through F and G by the time they get
yeah.
halfway
Yeah.
through it, about to finish,
Uh-huh.
then you still got people starting. So
Yeah.
that definitely keeps. I've done New Orleans rock and roll. I've done Savannah rock and roll.
Mm,
And I did Virginia Beach rock and roll. I think that was my first one, and they're
okay.
all huge in terms of numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
it's
all
I
have
interesting.
like
I've been learning about a lot of races like back home in Virginia that I didn't experience when I was living there. And it's like
Mhm.
part of my like legacy. I was like, I got to get back home and do these races that I didn't know. Like I signed up for the Richmond Marathon right after I did my rock and roll hat, my first rock and roll half, just because I saw that BMR Richmond was out there. And I was like, I didn't know we had a chapter out there, and they just did the
Yeah,
marathon. I'm signing up.
yeah,
I didn't go.
yeah. So you
I did
got
not
you got
go.
an opportunity, you got plenty of time. So they had
Yeah.
Virginia Beach and they had Chesapeake Bay. Now it's one
Uh-huh.
chapter, Hampton Roads,
Yeah.
plus the Richmond chapter.
Uh-huh.
I've done a 10K up in Richmond, and I've done
Mm,
a like I said, I did Virginia Beach half when they still had Virginia Beach chapter. But that rock and roll is they do pretty much fun races, and they do races all over the world. So
mm-hmm.
pick a city,
Yeah.
their
Yeah, we got a
website.
brother that runs Arizona every year. So this will be his first year running San Diego's half.
Or
He runs Arizona every year.
yeah. So hopefully the brothers in that region will converge down on the city of San Diego, because if
Oh,
you
yeah.
haven't attended, I say it all the time, if you haven't attended one of our regional meetups or national meetups, you really don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I
it's
mean, it changed my experience and my understanding of BMR just by going to that first one.
absolutely.
Yeah. It wasn't more I could say. I was like, I just want more brothers to experience this. Like, man, y'all
Hmm.
can just go to another city and
Yeah.
just like, you know. So
We can
yeah.
tell you about it, but until you experience it for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I look forward to seeing what that does for our local chapter here, and brothers want to like, oh man, I want to go out, and even just building with like our next chapter closest to us, LA, and it's like, oh, we got to go up there and do more with
Hmm.
LA. We talk about
Hmm.
it all the time between us and LA at the like captain level. Um, but yeah, just trying to make that happen at the local level is what I'm really interested in
Yeah.
seeing happen more.
Because what's the distance between LA and San Diego? About an hour?
Hour and a half to two early in the morning when there's no traffic, and
Right.
easily like 2.5 to 3 when you're coming back or going back either way.
Yeah.
LA, what they do, they did it last year for the first time, and they're gonna do it again. They're just gonna hop on a train together, and all of them just it's a much easier ride for them. They don't got to worry about the vehicle. They're gonna stay
Hmm.
downtown. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out for them, and something we could replicate heading up to them sometimes.
Cool. That's good. Do you have any hotel information?
Um,
As
we
far
don't
as
have,
like the guest
no,
hotel? Oh,
yeah, we don't have any like hotels blocked out or anything like that. I mean, my advice has been just look at what's happening in the downtown area, because the whole
mhm.
everything that we're doing for the race and that weekend primarily is happening in downtown. So
All right.
it should be pretty walkable. You get an Uber from the airport, get downtown, and then you could make your way to everything. Pretty much like I live north of downtown. I'm just like 3 miles from like the downtown area, and
Okay.
I would like walk down there to do my run sometimes. Or last year when I did the rock and roll, I just walked home from the race. It was like a 3 mile walk. I was like, I can get there. And then I ran across the rest of the marathoners because they run. I didn't realize they ran past my my place. I was like, oh, y'all still going. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, I mean, there's like the Hampton Inn downtown. There's the Wyndham, the Best Western,
Mhm.
Spring Hill Suites. Those are all like in the waterfront area and near the finish line. So it's real easy to kind of access those points from there. And then even if you find like some decent Airbnb stuff like that,
Gas Lamp Street or something like that down
yeah,
there.
the Gaslamp area, the whole Gaslamp district is
Right.
part of that and accessible. So yeah, anything along that area that meets your budget, I think is a good plan. Uh, so yeah,
Is that mall still that outdoor mall still downtown?
nah, I don't think so. Not that I'm.
Okay, they got rid of it.
Yeah, must have. Yeah, I don't know about an outdoor mall experience out here. There's a lot of pop-up events, and there's a lot of festivals and pop-up events and pop-up markets and stuff that happen out here. So
Okay.
there's always that, but yeah, I don't know
Well,
about
sounds
that.
like you got a great weekend planned for everybody. I know you mentioned there's also a festival going on, plus the race and their events.
Yeah.
So y'all can sleep when you get back home.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a host of like, I think I'm gonna put together like one more like PowerPoint presentation type of thing to kind of help put out there, just especially to give a list of like some things to do. I know we got a lot of things I think on our list for that weekend to do with BMR, but for places people might want to go eat on their own or anything like that.
Okay.
Try and get some experiences outside. I know Raheem up in Denver, he's keep asking me about this one hill that he saw us run one time. So, I mean, you go take us to that hill. You go take us to that hill. Man, that thing 20 minutes away. Like I can take you to it, but I can find you
Just
a
take him to Texas
hill.
Street. He'll be all right.
I'm running right up Pershing. That's enough right there.
Yeah, that's
Part of the
enough,
race.
man.
This is part of the
I
race, so you'll see it.
I used to run up that street every day, man.
That's a good one.
Every
Now, see,
day.
my brother Raheem is coming. I might have to go on and
Oh yeah.
book my ticket and get on out there, man.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that energy, man.
Hadn't seen him in a minute, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
another good thing. It's always good to it's a good opportunity to see some of your brothers you hadn't seen in a few, since a few
Mhm.
events, as well as
Yeah,
connect with, new ones.
yeah.
It's really like I kind of describe it as homecoming / reunion,
Mhm.
somewhat,
I like it.
somewhat, gives you that feel. And so there it is, guys. All y'all thinking about going, go ahead and register, book your flight, book your hotels, and get ready.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward
Mhm.
to it.
What's that date again?
It's the weekend of May 30th to June 1st. Races on June 1st.
Sunday,
Sweet.
June 1st, race day.
Yes, sir.
That's the half and the marathon.
Oh, yep.
I
Yeah, you
mean,
notice I haven't talked about the marathon. If you gonna do the marathon, there is a hill. You run up the highway. You run up the 163 highway at mile like 22. Uh, so I'm saving that for next year when I when I don't got everybody else waiting for me.
wow. Man, they're gonna do that to you at mile 22.
Mile 22.
Shame,
That's
Sam.
terrible.
That
But if
ain't
you've
far
been
from the
training,
crib.
you're ready for it.
That is not far from the house for me. So I'm like, I
Mm.
don't know about that finish line today. I'm gonna have to. But yeah.
So let me ask you, man, so planning this weekend for everybody. Um, I know that has its own challenges. What would you say to other chapters that are interested in possibly hosting a regional meetup next year?
Um, learn your chapter members and lean on like what their abilities are,
Mhm.
to be able to like corral and come up with ideas, just to help make the experience as unique as possible. Especially like just kind of figuring out what the focus is in your chapter,
Right.
and then like just knowing what I mean. We already I think you are most chapters should already know like what the best races are to do in their area,
Mhm.
and it's just as far as a matter of just like managing how to like create something that's unique within your space and yeah, just kind of focusing that effort on like, all right, who can bring this, who knows this information, can you bring that to the table, and then have those conversations. Then you get the thing written out, and then you just start checking off things. Yes, we want to keep doing this. No, we don't.
Mhm. I will say having a committee is key,
Yeah,
a dedicated
yeah,
committee.
yeah.
And I did say next year. Next year we're back to doing a national, which
National,
will be in
yeah,
Charlotte. But we may throw in a couple of regionals too. I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
for sure.
Still considering that. So
Hmm.
for you
Yeah, we
chapter
got a
members,
race. We got a race here that our captain Asar has a good relationship with the race director or the race organizers.
okay.
And they've been trying to collaborate. He said with our group, for a while now. So he like that's his favorite race. That's the one I just PR'd at the San Diego Half Marathon. So we're looking at having that conversation with them and seeing what we could bring to BMR through that race in the future. So
Okay. And you PR'd, huh? What
yes,
what'd you do, man?
124.29.
Woo.
Yeah.
That is insane, bro.
Felt
Wow.
good, man. Rated in
What
those
pace is that?
290s. It was like a 6:42, I think.
Man, I can't go a quarter mile at 6:40 something.
124
I take that back.
half marathon.
I don't know. I can't remember. But it was up there. Might have been faster than that. I gotta look back because I just
I wouldn't be surprised, Vince. I've seen pictures of you flying through the air, so that would not surprise me. Your feet don't even touch the ground sometimes.
Yeah, man.
This dude is a beast, y'all. Don't be fooled.
Running is just fun. It's fun to me, man. I don't train that seriously. I mean, I do, but I
Yeah,
try to have fun when I do it.
yeah.
He's not from this planet. That's why.
Yeah, with every jump, I'm trying to get back home.
There you go. There you go. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, talking about the next regional meetup and giving us
Yes,
a little
sir.
background on you. Regional Captain Mensah Bey out of San Diego. If you're not signed up for the San Diego Rock and Roll BMR regional meetup and you're on the fence, get on the other side and go and sign up.
Yeah, come on, holler at us, man.
San Diego's a beautiful city.
Yeah, that's
Lovely.
doing half the work for us. Believe you that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Any parting words for the brothers, man?
Hey, man, just keep moving, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. I think just keep moving.
Moving and grooving.
Yes, sir.
Moving and grooving.
Well,
Well,
Lou,
thanks for being on the show today. I really appreciate your spirit and your inspiration. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. We thank you for everything, JT. He's looking forward to coming down there. He's about to jump off that fence. All you out there in our
maybe,
listening audience, you have just experienced the brotherhood.
brotherhood.
Hey.
We out.
All right.